Welcome back to How Good Was It, where we review the movies of our past and sometimes some new ones when we feel like it. And the main objective is to find out if they still hold up in this modern age. But this being our final episode of 2023, we're going to do something a little different. We're going to say F a movie. We're going to do our year in review recap. Of course, I have to introduce the one and only crew. What is up, Scott?
Hey, what's going on, Jim?
And hello, Joe AP, who has been concurrently throughout the month. I congratulate you, my friend, for coming back full force, and it's greatly appreciated. What is up, Joe AP?
¿Cómo está?
See, now you're stealing Dana's thunder.
He's stealing Dana's bit.
That is Dana's job to impress
I see
me with
Dana's
the
scribbling something.
Let me
off
try
on
that
his
again.
paper now.
Ciao a tutti.
Okay, I'll take the French. I'll take the French. Last but never least, what is up, Dana?
Damn it, why is Joe so fucking cool?
It's all in good fun. It's great to end the year with you guys. We've had a very eventful year. This has been the first year of How Good Was It? And I can't even say it's been a year in its entirety. We started this podcast earlier in the year. I'm going to say around,
Our first episode dropped in June, but I think you, Joe, and I were recording probably in April.
Oh, yeah.
I think we probably started recording a lot of these episodes in April. So it's been going on for a while.
Yes, and to give a little bit of a recap and some history on How Good Was It and what it's all about. This was the brainchild of Scott and Joe AP. Scott and Joe AP presented the idea of a podcast to me. But again, it's been a while since that idea has been thrown about.
About this time last year, I want to say, because Joe and I went and visited you in New York in December of 2022, and I think that's when the idea was hatched.
Actually, I think even before that, Scott may have thrown the idea of doing some kind of podcast, but it's been kind of on and off until we all kind of had the time to actually do it. And when these guys presented me with the idea, I'm going to be honest with you, I had no intention of being within a podcast. I came in thinking that I'd be coming in as a producer of some sort, putting things together, editing video, editing audio. And then I realized that these guys don't know what the hell they're doing.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely. Good call.
And I'm going to say, man, I'll never forget the first episode we did, which was a test episode, which we haven't aired. And we chose the movie. What was the movie we chose? It was
Back to School.
Yes. And I pressed record and I'm said, here we go. And there was just dead silence. And I'm like, well, I guess somebody has to say something. So I just started talking and here we are many episodes later and I can't escape these guys. I'm stuck.
Yeah.
So how good was it? Well, but yes, that's a little bit of a history recap for you. That's how we started. Now, I have to say, and one of the things that I always fail to say, and I think it's long overdue, is that we are by no means film experts. We are by no means film anything. We are not part of Hollywood to any degree.
We don't know what we're talking about.
Exactly.
We don't get everything wrong. I think if you've been listening since the beginning, even when we correct ourselves, quite often we're wrong too. So
yes,
yeah,
really, it's just four guys having fun, talking shit about movies and giving our bullshit reviews. And please, audience, please take it for what it's worth. It's just good fun. It's not malicious in any way. We talk smack about every director, every actor, anything in Hollywood, because we know we'll never achieve that kind of status or celebrity. So we're in no danger. We're like, we don't give an F. It's like, it's just four guys having fun, talking about movies. What you hear is what you get. The way you hear us talk on the air is the way we talk off the air. We talk about movies. We talk about music. We talk about anything in pop culture that holds our interest at that moment. And we just have good conversation and hopefully good fun. And our idea is to share that with you, the audience. And hopefully we're achieving that. Hopefully you're enjoying our content and you'll join us for another year. But with that said, let's get into this year-end review.
Well, I figured we all could kind of go over what was our favorite movies that we covered that we reviewed this year.
Ooh.
I think we reviewed mostly good films. I want to say there was a handful of pretty bad films in there, but I would say probably 80% of them were good. I know. Yeah. I know Dana has different tastes than the other three of us. But I would say that we in general we reviewed pretty good films. I think most of them held up. There were the ones that we didn't think were going to hold up. Probably were the ones that didn't hold up as well.
I agree with you. I just want to say another thing. As you notice, Dana has become a regular, which we're very happy about. He adds some even more dynamic and flavor than probably all of us combined. So thank God for
He's a
Dana.
black guy.
Yes, that's what I really meant, Dana. We needed some black blood in here, and we got it. So thank
This
you.
is a Benetton ad podcast.
Yes, exactly. We're multicultural, multicolored, multi everything. He started out listening to the podcast, a listener, and he probably knows more about this podcast than anyone else in the podcast. So it's gotten to the point where I'm probably going to start referring to him for any history as per How Good Was It. So Dana, you got your job, man. You know what you're doing. Keep it up, and you're a great addition to the How Good Was It family. Or translation, you're fucked. That's it. You're fucked, and you're in. And you'll regret it. They're stuck with us, man. That being said, man, let's get on with this year-end review. So let's start with our best. What are we going to do? Like a top 5? Is that what you said?
Yeah. It's limited to a top 5. Yeah. Am I the only one that prepared for this?
I was hoping it'd be easily because you're the only one that ever
started
it.
Easily.
Right?
Yeah. I think Joe. I think everyone now is looking at their podcast app. What episodes did we review? All right, so I'm going to do my top 5. So my top 5 movies. I'm going to start with 1. Just because 5 is going to be controversial.
So this is going to be best to worst. Just to be clear,
for this one will be best to worst.
Okay.
So my favorite movie that we reviewed this year, which we reviewed very early on, but didn't release it till much later, was Alien. Ridley Scott. Can't go wrong with that film. Man, held up 100%. Looked incredible for a movie that was filmed in 1979. So amazing. My number 2 film, Memento. Christopher Nolan. Great film. Better than Oppenheimer. I liked Oppenheimer. But I think it's a better film.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, Scott. I'm sorry to interrupt. The reason we did Memento was because of Oppenheimer coming out.
Because preparing for Oppenheimer. And
it prompted
no
us to
shade
do something
to
related.
Oppenheimer. Good film, but to me, Memento is one of his best. My third film, the original Mission Impossible. Love that film. Fun, really fun film. Had a great time. Enjoyed it. A lot of running. I love it. Number 4, Pee-wee's Big Adventure. A movie that I thought I was not going to enjoy. I thought I remembered not liking it. Absolutely loved Pee-wee's Adventure. Had a great time watching it. Thoroughly enjoyed the film. And then number 5, let's see if I can ruffle some feathers here.
Dun, dun, dun.
Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. That's a great film. I know June agrees with me. I just know there's somebody else in this film. Because one of us here has bad taste in films, and I won't say who it is, but Planes, Trains, and Automobiles is a stone cold classic. Number 5 on my list.
I vote Dana go next because he looks like he's got some shit to say.
Well, I think he's going
I just want to vomit. Yeah, it's gross. Thank God we're doing worse.
You'll have some stuff to add for worst. I'm sure Dana has that. But Dana, what is your best film?
It's funny when you first asked the question, I took it as what was my favorite film to review versus what was actually my favorite film.
You can do it however you want. You want to do the famous, you can do it any way you want.
Sure, do a combo.
And I totally am. Because number 1, we could have just done a podcast on just this movie alone.
I know where you're going.
Of course, the first one that I did.
Yeah.
Jean-Claude Van Damme, Kickboxer. The most random movie, the gift that kept on giving.
Yes. Fun film to watch. Absolutely fun film to watch. Not a good film, but a fun film to watch.
Kickboxer still our number 1 episode.
I can't on YouTube. People wanted to see
on
it.
YouTube. Yeah,
they didn't want to listen to it. They wanted to see it.
That's true. Thank you for clarifying that, Scott. Kickboxer is our most watched video on YouTube. Still
wasn't that Dana first?
That was
yes, it
Dana,
was.
Yeah, he picked the
First
film.
one.
And he was first time he guest hosted.
I just love listening to Scott explain because we do a lot of things in this thing, but my favorite thing we do in this podcast is we show a lot of white guilt, and we just make sure that Scott feels guilty for all the atrocities known to white man to colored people. I love doing Trading Places. If you guys listen to the end of that podcast, that hostage letter from Scott explaining blackface is probably the best episode if it wasn't for Kickboxer and the twerking.
Way to put Scott in the most uncomfortable situation.
I think I probably get honorable mention for Candyman and also Boys in the Hood as well.
I'm actually going to put those two there. We'll just make that fast. And it's almost the same reason, because there's nothing better than hearing Scott tell us about hip hop. I've learned a lot in this episode, and I know that Scott teaches me most about hip hop.
That's what I enjoy. I enjoy teaching you about culture, June, Dana.
And to round up my top 5, the most surprised movie for me, which I really I went in it knowing I was going to hate it. Wrath of Khan. It took me by surprise. Love that movie. I can't wait to watch it again. I'm afraid to watch the other Star Trek movies, but that movie was great to review, and it was a good movie. I really, really liked it.
Yeah, it almost made my top 5. That was probably my number 6. I love that movie as well.
Okay, let's see, because I didn't give this as usual. I did no pre-prep
at all.
no nothing. So I'm going by the list that's in front of my eyes, and I'm just gonna go by gut instinct. I'm gonna say number 1 as far as movie quality, right? As far as the quality of the movies we've reviewed so far. I'm gonna say number 1 was Memento for me, just because I hadn't watched the movie in so long, and it's one of the few movies that we reviewed that was better upon rewatching. That there was even more surprises. I understood it just a little teensy bit better than I did so many years ago. But holy shit, I was surprised at what a monster of a movie this was. Number 2, I'm gonna have to go with Pee-wee's Big Adventure, because it's a movie that's always been near and dear to my heart. And it was actually one of the films that I was a little bit hesitant to review, because I didn't want to watch it and be so disappointed, which we have been with other movies. I think each of us have those episodes where we'll review a movie from our youth and we swear it's the fucking bomb, and we find that it's a piece of shit and it's just soul crushing, to say the least. But yes, thank you. But that's my number 2 would be Pee-wee. Number 3, I'm gonna say Alien. And the only reason it didn't make it much higher on my list, I don't know why. It's because I didn't see it first on the list. But it's good at number 3. I mean, holy crap. I wholeheartedly agree with Scott. This was, man, what a movie. Still holds up just as much as it did back in the day. Genius movie in every way. Number 4 for me, you know what? I'm gonna say Candyman. Candyman was a nice surprise. I did not expect to get into that. That was actually the height of our Halloween month. Was Candyman? It was the
best episode in the Halloween month for sure.
Yes, for sure, man. It holds up. And as we'll learn later on in our episode, Candyman so far has been voted the best Hollywood father.
Pretty sure
find out why.
Best parenting.
Yes, true parenting. And I guess my last one, I don't know what would be my last one, because all the other movies sucked. No, that's not true. I'm gonna go. It's a toss-up between Star Trek and Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, but I'm gonna give it to Star Trek 2: The Wrath of Khan, and I'm gonna tell you why. I hadn't watched this movie in so long, and I didn't expect to enjoy it as much as I did upon rewatching. It's the only reason. I will not say it's a better film than Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. No, even though Dana will vehemently disagree with that. But the only reason that Star Trek takes that last spot for me is because it had that nice element surprise. I didn't expect to like it as much as I did, but damn, even if it was entertaining for the wrong reasons, it was still very much entertaining. So that's my top 5. All right, Joe AP. The drum roll, please, man.
All right.
We're all waiting for this one.
So I think I have a piece of everybody's movies favorite. Since everybody already gone through their top 5.
Yeah.
So my first movie would be Trading Places.
Oh.
Wow. Number 1.
I think that was the movie that I had the most fun watching. And I think that it's a feel-good kind of movie. So number 2 is Risky Business.
Wow.
I remember it was a very fun recording. We had a lot of fun talking about it.
Wait a minute. I need clarity here. And as usual, Joe AP always brings some shit up that I need some clarity on. Okay, so did we release Risky Business as an episode?
I think we did. Yeah, I think we released it. Did we release it? Okay.
This is where we go to Dana, the historian. I don't think
I don't think it got released.
Oh no.
Yes.
It will shift to honorable mention.
Nice save by Joe.
Joe's next film is Back to School.
So replacing number 2 is Goonies.
That was our first one we released.
Yeah,
That
was
our
very fun recording episode. We talked a lot about each characters, and I think it was kind of like we were just kind of get into the rhythm of the movie's comments and dialogue. So that number 2 was number 2 now, and number 3. Over the Top.
Oh,
surprise!
It's because you enjoy the recording of the movie, Joe?
Both. I enjoyed the movie and I enjoyed the recording. I think that was the time that I thought we had such a big controversy. And I think I put up some defense on my part.
Some defense, yes.
It's a controversy. It's a controversy that rages on to this day.
Yes.
We won't live that movie down.
Most talked about episode by far.
Yes.
Right. So, and number 4 is Kickboxer. And this one, I also remember how fun it was. And I think having Dana on board for the first time. And I remember I laughed so much in that recording. I think it was such a good chemistry. We really, mix it well on that recording. I remember how fun it was. So that was number 5. And number 4, I'm sorry, I'm reading.
Yes.
So number 5 is Pee-wee Playhouse.
No.
Big Adventure.
Close enough. It's Pee-wee.
Pee-wee Big Adventure.
Yeah.
Pee-wee's in there.
Yes.
So my worst movies, I'm going to go reverse them. I'm going to go from 5 to 1. I'm going to go the least, my least favorite movie will be my last one, I say. And,
Gotcha.
I think from doing the first half, it looks like Joe and Dana are doing on how they enjoyed the film. So I want you guys to do how you didn't enjoy recording with us for your top 5. June and I are doing it based on the actual quality of the film. But you guys are whatever you guys want to do. Whatever that you did not enjoy recording with us is fine. But
that works too.
So my worst movies. Well, I think a couple of you guys put this in your favorite movies. Number 5 is Kickboxer for me. I thoroughly enjoyed watching the film and enjoyed doing the podcast, but it's not a good film in general. So
it's really bad. I love it so much. So bad.
Yeah, it's a movie I will watch it again, but it's just not a good film. I think number 4 is going to be controversial too, because A Nightmare Before Christmas. I didn't enjoy this film.
No.
It looked beautiful.
I am wounded. And conveniently, Scott just froze.
He paused. I love it. Yeah, I love that he paused.
Yeah, so
I love that you froze at that perfect moment.
Yeah,
blasphemous.
Yes.
Truly a bad film. So
okay, Boomer.
All right. Well, this film is worse at number 3. Friday the 13th was really bad. The first Friday the 13th was pretty much almost close to being unwatchable, other than the fact that it spawned all the movies I enjoyed. And I did watch every Friday the 13th in the month of October. It was pretty bad. Yeah, 2, Jaws 3D. A horrible movie. Loved it as a kid, but it wasn't any good. And my worst film of the year, drum roll please, Over the Top. Over the Top is a terrible, terrible film with a horrible message. And I did enjoy watching it. All right, Dana,
That's good.
Your turn.
Gremlins is on my list. Gremlins was that shit was I can't do it. I just and they killed off my black guy, which the irony to me is that I chose Candyman, or I was trying to find a movie where I was just like, yeah, you know how they always say the black guy dies first? What horror film has that? I guess Candyman. I was wrong on that, but I was definitely right on Gremlins. The black guy definitely dies first on that. Another movie that I reviewed with you guys that was pretty bad, Halloween. Halloween's just bad,
so
man.
Two classics you're shitting on already. Okay, keep going.
Plot twist. This was on my best list, and I was gonna have it on my worst list. Kickboxer. And it's so bad, but it's so good.
Yeah.
It's so bad, and it's so good. And I love that movie to death because of how bad it is, but it was such a good ride. I'm going to watch it for the rest of my life. Scott, you know it's coming. This classic is corny ass classic. Plane, Trains, and Automobiles. I don't understand. Like, I don't understand the love of it. That shit's so damn corny. Like, whatever. I'd rather watch every slavery film in the history of slavery. Like, I can't do it. I just can't do it.
I take back everything I said about Dana at the beginning of this episode. I strike that from the.
My one, I like Dana said, I don't know which is worse, but this I can't really categorize the worst to the worst. So I'm just going to list the movie that I didn't think I was good.
Okay.
Number one, Jaw 3D.
Okay.
That was a bad film for sure.
Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Yeah, that is a bad film.
I didn't think that was good.
Pain for my heart. It's okay.
Gremlins.
How dare you?
Really?
It was good, but it was. I don't have any other one that I don't. Other
than. Wow. It's hard to say because it's hard to.
For all your babies. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel a kinship to all of these movies that were reviewed because we've had so much fun on this podcast reviewing these movies. So it's hard to say, but I have to throw Kickboxer in there because it reminded me why I never watched any of these Jean-Claude Van Damme movies.
Jean-Claude.
Yeah, I refuse to pronounce his name right. I couldn't get it right back on that episode. I still can't get it right now, and I don't care, man. Jean-Claude, man. Sorry, dude. Your movies suck. And I've only seen the one. I don't have to watch the rest. But was a fun episode. Was a great episode, as I remember it. I'm going to have to throw Beastmaster. And I'm reluctant to because I think maybe Scott...
I think you reviewed it good. I want to say you gave it a good when first time we reviewed it.
I gave it a good review based on all the freaking laughter and joy it gave me on how bad it actually was.
Mm-hmm. This is when Scott threw a curveball at us, didn't it?
Yeah,
yes, I gave it a shit review.
He did, and it was his pick. And he went in, pretty much glorifying this bitch.
There's a certain movie about a trucker. I don't know. I mean, I just a suggestion.
Well, before we get to that, because
June saved it for the last one.
Well, of course I did. But before that, I have to throw in Halloween. Simply because
another Halloween hater.
Yes, I have to.
Rough.
Man, that was it was fun in its own way, but I think so much time and so many of these slasher type movies have been made copying and in the vein of Halloween that it kind of lessened it, didn't it? It kind of made it look like stale bread in a way. And yes, I mean, we already went through this. I mean, the worst movie, hands down, that we've reviewed this year, in my opinion. And I'm sorry, Joe. I'm sorry. But I'm forever thankful for this movie, Over the Top, starring Sylvester Stallone. And the only I'm gonna say, but I am eternally grateful for having to watch this movie because it's the gift that keeps on giving. I don't think there's been one episode since what we have not mentioned over the top. So if there's a resurgence for this movie and it gets re-released and it makes money, How Good Was It is entitled to that freaking at least 25% because it'll be because of us. We keep that movie over the top alive, man. We mentioned it every chance we get. And I think it's going to be an old standby. We're just never going to stop comparing everything to Over the Top. So thank you, Sylvester Stallone, for this god-awful movie.
I guess we're going to do some viewer comments, right?
Yeah. So, one of the things we do every episode, we make sure to mention to leave comments either at our Gmail or on our YouTube channel. Leave the comments below the video or whatever. But we never really get a chance to discuss the comments. We do read them, but we never get a chance. And as the people who have left comments have discovered, we haven't answered them. We're so busy in our lives that we haven't. And so one of the things I asked that for this episode is that, let's respond to some of these viewer comments. So one of our faves, as far as movies that we have reviewed this year, is Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan. Yes. Now, as anybody who's a fan of anything knows, Star Trek has a very loyal fan base, and they take that shit dead serious. You don't fuck around with Star Trek, because you will get some comments going. And
Phaser's own Lethal.
Oh yes. And it's been a watch long overdue that we've replied to this comment. This comment was left on our YouTube by @Gail Seaton Humbert or Humbert. And I hope I'm not mispronouncing your handle or your name. Thank you, Gail, for leaving a comment, but allow us to retort. I'll start by reading the comment. So this is for Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan. Your contempt is awful and ignorant of both Star Trek and production techniques at the time. And the directors of the first two movies didn't know Star Trek and didn't do anything with it. Nimoy gave an interview about the first film where he basically gave the same critiques. The second film you apparently didn't even watch. Yes? Wow. So, Gail, allow me to retort first. Yes, every movie that we review on How Good Was It, we watch the whole thing through and through. Some of us, Scott, even goes farther. He goes above and beyond.
Not much more beyond, but
well, by our standards, yes. I mean, Scott is a pop culture wizard, and he loves the minutia and the detail, and he does his homework. With Star Trek II, now I have to clarify what we present on our YouTube channel as far as our movie reviews. These are but snippets of entire episodes. In other words, the little video promo that you get on YouTube, that's like the first 10 minutes of one of the halves. Each episode of How Good Was It is actually an audio podcast. That's why we keep saying, and you'll see if you read the type underneath the videos, it's all constantly mentioning our RSS website or feed, and that we're on all these streaming platforms. Each episode is at least an hour and a half. And if that sounds crazy, yes, it is. We go into detail. The second half of each episode, we literally go through the entire plot of the film.
Most of the time longer than the actual running time of the film.
Yeah. Yes, it's true. Yes, we get into it, man. And only because we enjoy discussing the finer points of the film. It allows us to critique the film or the scenes or anything else that we want to critique while we're going through the plot. So yes, Gail, we do watch each film, and we did watch Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan. Now, I strongly advise, Gail, that you please track down that episode in our archives and listen to the whole episode, because yes, we do quite a good job of shitting on movies. But if you'll notice at the end, when we actually do our How Good Was It critiques, we actually unanimously enjoyed Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan. Very much so.
So is Gail a subscriber?
I don't know. Hopefully she will be.
Well, I don't know. From the sound of that
Yeah, but we really did like the film. I saw Shatner live to get prepared for it, and yeah, it's a great film. It's to me, it's the best Star Trek film.
So nevertheless, we still appreciate her comments.
Absolutely,
right? For sure, we appreciate any and all comments. Listen, at the end of the day, a comment is an opinion, and everybody's entitled to them, and we appreciate them. Maybe it'll give us insight into details or things that we missed. So, I mean, thank you, Gail, for that. I hope we weren't too hard on you.
No, I don't think we're hard. I think, just listen to the whole episode. We liked it.
Yeah, I think by the end of that episode, Gail, you'll find that you'll be in agreement about at least some of the stuff we talk about with this movie. We do have fun with these movies. We shit on directors, actors, and every aspect of Hollywood. Yes, we're going to take a big
Kirk being a bad dad. Yeah, we do all that.
Well, yes, I would say Gail probably won't agree with us on that.
On Kirk, okay. All right. So what other comments we got?
Okay. So, you know what? I'm going to follow up with another comment from that particular episode just to close it. And this one's from @Daniel Gertler 5976. I hope I didn't mispronounce your name, Daniel. But thank you for leaving a comment. Yes, Daniel San, like Karate Kid. And his comment is as follows. The Enterprise is gorgeous. I don't know what, Daniel, you misspelled what? WJAT, but we can forgive that. I don't know what these guys are talking about. Even in the original series, it might not be super detailed because it was on 60 TV, but it's still a great design. And Daniel had somebody who replied, a fractal elf 7760 who said, yes, this was one of the stupidest takes ever. Now, I don't quite understand if Fractal 7760 was replying saying that ours was one of the stupidest takes on a film ever, or if that reply by Daniel.
Probably us. And by the way, that's me. That's not my handle. It's a Fractal. Yeah, that's me. Sorry.
Mystery solved. But okay, and this is in response to a comment that I made on that episode about the Starship Enterprise.
Yeah, you did shit on it.
I did shit on it. And listen.
All it doesn't look like a paper plate floating in the stream.
I am not gonna take it back. I'm sorry, Daniel. I am a big sci-fi fan. There have been incredible upgrades as far as designs of Starcraft ever since. Yes, for its time, the Enterprise was a pretty ship, but man, have you ever heard of Stanley Kubrick and that 2000 Space Odyssey thing? Even the ships in that. I mean, and that was around the same time. That was late 60s, I believe. So sorry, Daniel, to disagree with you, but yes, the Enterprise is still paper plate with.
Yeah, and I think our biggest complaint was how they it was like ship porn. Like they do the slow-mo like shots of the ship, and they slowly light it up. They present it like it's this beautiful thing, and it's iconic, but yeah, I wouldn't think it's
space.
Yes, what is it, Joe? Come on, Joe. Finish the rest of it. You're just gonna say space. The final frontier, Joe. The final frontier.
Final frontier.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you.
So let's move on to another film, and we'll take another comment. This one is on our Beastmaster review episode, and this is from @Mark4473. Hi, Mark, and thank you for leaving a comment. Hope you're still
Mark Singer, probably the lead actor in Beastmasters is probably him. Go ahead.
Totally his handle.
I'm thinking, and there's no diss on you, Mark Singer, but you probably have the time to leave comments on YouTube at this point in your career. Well, so Mark comments, while Beastmaster wasn't the best movie, it was a fun movie for the time. It definitely was better than most of that genre in the 80s. And had an original story that set it apart from the others. Not really. No. It was a good.
It was fun. It was. I think he's not bad. I think it's a good comment.
But saying it had an original story that set it apart from the others.
Literally like every other one.
He can talk to animals. Okay, he can talk to
Dr. Dolittle,
tiger. He's got it all.
Okay,
he is Beastmaster. And there's boobs. There's boobs in it too, so it does set it apart.
Well, I guess Dr. Dolittle as a barbarian is enough to set it apart from other barbarian films of the time. So be it. But thank you, Mark, for leaving that comment. And we hope you're still listening. Thank you for everyone who's leaving comments. please be patient with us. We'll get to replying to those comments at some point. Know that we are reading them. Just because we don't reply right away does not mean we are not reading them. It's just that we do have a podcast to produce, and it takes time and effort. And so that is one of the things that kind of slipped by the wayside. And we'll hopefully get better at replying to our listeners. But thank you, each and every one of you, for your support, for your comments. Please continue to do so. So what's next on the agenda for our best of the year or worst of the year, whatever the hell we're calling this thing?
I think I'm going to quiz you guys. So what I did was I went back and to be fair, I picked quotes from movies we've reviewed. So I'm going to read out a quote from a movie that we've all watched. Well, Dana may not have watched all these movies, but the rest of us have. And then you guys have to call in to see who can name the most quotes out.
I already lost.
I think I got 13 quotes here.
How do your picks got like us raising hands?
Oh no, you say your name. So just say Joe or Dana, whatever name I hear first, and I'll call on you, and then you get to do it. And if you get it wrong, then someone else, then you're out, and the other two. Whoa, the other two can. I got excited there. The other two can go at it. All right.
All right, Pat Sajak.
Is everybody ready here? Okay.
I think, but before we get into it, so on my screen, and I don't know if Dana and Scott
switch right
places.
Yeah.
Oh, did we really?
Yeah.
You stayed the same on mine, so that's
I stayed the same on mine too.
Okay, as long as we're okay.
Okay. All right. We're ready here. Remember, say your name to answer the question. I will not call on you unless you say your name first. Okay. All right, ready.
It's a good teacher right there.
Yes.
Joe.
Mother, I'm turning the cooling unit back on.
June.
Mother.
Joe.
June. I heard June first.
I'm going to say Alien.
Of course it's Alien. Oh, look at that. 1 point for June.
Hey, you bet your ass 1 point for June.
Okay. All right. This one, I think Joe AP is going to be all over. You ready?
Oh, boy.
All right. By the way, food and rent aren't the only things that cost money.
Joe.
Dana.
Joe was first.
Trading places.
Yes.
His favorite.
I didn't even get a chance to finish. You sleep on the couch, Joe. Joe, you rang in so soon. Okay.
I think Joe said boobs before you even finished.
The boobs are right in his head. All right. Now I'm moving to my phone for this portion of it. Okay. All right. This is one just especially for Dana. Okay.
Oh.
You can start by wiping that fucking dumbass smile off your rosy fucking cheeks. Then you can give me a fucking automobile, a fucking Datsun, a fucking Toyota, a fucking Mustang, or a fucking Buick. 4 fucking wheels and a seat.
I refuse to say the name. It's like saying Bloody Mary. It might come to true. And
does anybody want to ring in for this one?
June. June
was first. All right. Yeah,
do I have to say it? Please,
I already marked it down.
Now, the only reason I let you go on that, because I wanted to hear the whole thing. I wanted the whole thing.
Truly a great quote.
Oh,
all right. Let's see. All right. This one may be for Joe AP. The world meets nobody halfway. When you want something, you got to take it.
Joe.
Yes.
Is this Mission Impossible?
No, Joe. All right. You want me? I'll read it one more time. The world meets nobody halfway. When you want something, you got to take it. It's something a father would say to a son.
Do you want me to still say it?
No, whoever.
Joe, yeah. Really, Joe? Are you fucking with us right now?
Isn't this your movie?
I don't know. What is this?
Oh my God.
I already missed.
Okay.
Yeah, Joe, I missed. Dana.
Over the top.
Yeah. like Joe, what happened there, man?
Under the bottom.
Lincoln Hawk speaking there, Joe.
I know that. I know that.
All right.
I'm confused. Okay, let's carry on.
You don't want the truth. You make up your own truth.
Oh.
It's actually really good. Dang it, it's a movie I saw.
I don't know.
You can't handle the truth.
No, that's
wrong movie.
That one.
That's a good movie.
One we reviewed, one we all liked.
Wow.
And the person saying this quote, his name is Teddy.
Oh, Memento. Oh, I didn't say my name.
June.
Yeah.
It's okay. Memento, yes.
I actually love listening to that episode. So yeah, that was actually a really good listen.
Oh wow. I'm ashamed that I didn't get that sooner.
All right, here's a good one too. Overman was killed inside the park. The baby was caught inside the park. Its mother is inside the park.
Whoa.
Interesting.
Definitely, maybe I haven't reviewed.
Oh, I don't know. I know.
Yeah, I think
stupid.
Dana was not in this episode. I'll read it one more time. Joe, go ahead, Joe.
Is it Halloween?
Hell no.
Okay. No, I was in that terrible one. No, not that.
All right, here, I'll read it one more time. Overman was inside the park. The baby was caught inside the park. The mother is inside the park.
Holy shit.
How many movies did we do that had a theme park involved in it?
Yeah, I'm even more confused.
Totally nobody gets this one. It is Jaws 3D.
Oh,
Jaws 3D.
I don't recall that part.
They suppressed it because that movie was a tumor.
There was the dolphin trainer was that. Yeah, she was saying that that somebody was killed in the park, the baby was caught inside the park, and then the mother was inside. They were all inside the lake in the park.
I remember that the commotion scene.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow!
All right. Well, this is going to be a really easy one. Let's see who he can get in first. Domino, motherfucker.
Oh, come on!
I just like you saying it.
Go ahead, Dana. Take it. This is yours, man.
I don't want to take it. I want him to keep quoting.
I may have more.
I would love Scott to do that whole scene.
I know. I really
from start to finish. That's what.
Unfortunately, the whole quote wasn't in here, and I didn't want to go back to the film to watch it. Yes, Joe.
Boys in the Hood.
Yes, Joe wants to win. Joe was not in that episode. You weren't in that episode, were you, Joe?
But I've seen it.
Yeah, very good job, Joe. All right, let's see. What do we got here? Any fool with a dick can make a baby, but only a real man can raise a child.
Same movie. Love it.
All right, Dana gets that one.
I love it.
I think you'd appreciate that.
This is the perfect setup for our dad section coming up later this episode, audience. You'll hear why. So just.
I think this one's a pretty easy one too. There's a lot of things about me you don't know. You don't know anything, Gotti. Things you wouldn't understand. Things you couldn't understand. Things you shouldn't understand.
Come on. Pee-wee's Play. I was going to say Pee-wee's Playhouse. You should take a point away just because
I know.
Pee-wee's Playhouse.
Pee-wee's big. Right now, June is taking a 4-2 lead. Dana and Joe both with 2.
I didn't even know I had one.
All right. Let's see if you get this one. Can be hard. The light concealing cream goes on first. Then you blend.
Joe.
Then you blend. Yes.
Caesar hand.
Very good, Joe. It was. You should have remembered it because it's the last movie we reviewed.
Yeah.
My favorite movie. Oh, I left that out.
Oh, yeah. You left it. Well, it officially has not come out yet, so it's fine.
That's true. That episode has not aired.
All right. Here's a good one. I am the writing on the wall, the whisper in the classroom. Without these things, I am nothing. So now I must shed innocent blood. Come with me.
June.
Candyman. Dana.
Oh, no. June beat you to it.
Son of a
bitch.
That's right.
All right. Here we go. How do you like that? The guy gets laid more times dead than I do alive.
June, Weekend at Bernie.
Very good.
Damn.
Look at June thought he was going to be terrible at this.
June, you remember all this.
I know.
You guys should be ashamed of yourselves, man.
That's exactly it.
June's moving away, but I got this is a 5-point question here. All right. So you guys can get right back in.
What a 5-point question.
Love it.
I tell them you say they know good fighters. And
Joe.
Mothers have, yes.
Kickboxer.
Yes, Joe's got 5. Joe, you have a 1 point lead now on June. That was the last one.
You bleed like Miley.
That was actually the next quote on here. You bleed like Miley. Miley, good fuck. So there you go. Wow. Joe with the big comeback. Jude did all the work.
The best part of that whole segment was Scott reading these lines. Let's face it, man, because he gave it a whole new vibe, man. That was awesome.
Dominoes, motherfucker.
But you know that
it was worth it just to hear him say that right there.
Yeah, he read other movies like Normal Tone, but then when he read Boys in the Hood, he put in
I did an extra racist,
Yes.
I was trying to do my Ice Cube impression, Joe. I was trying to do my Ice Cube impression.
I didn't even watch the movie. I didn't know which movie you were talking about.
Who is the best movie dads we reviewed this year? Actually, who are the worst dads?
Thank you for clarifying that. And if I may give our listeners a recap, just so we could be on the same page. We did it. One of our first episodes,
second
as we
episode
mentioned before, was for the movie Over the Top, which is a Joe AP pick. And in addition to probably being, as you can, it made both Scott and I's worst list of the year of the movies we reviewed. But that being said, one of the things that we continuously harp on and is an endless source of fun and laughter on this podcast is how bad of a dad Sylvester Stallone's character actually was in this movie. And it's become a running theme that any movie we review after that episode, if it had a dad involved as a part of the story or one of the characters within that movie, we're gonna compare them to Sylvester Stallone's character in Over the Top. What was his name? It was Hawk.
Lincoln Hawk. And by the way, in the quote game, I forgot one quote. I was meant to go back to it. So I have one more quote for you guys really quick.
Okay.
What I do, I just try to take my hat and I turn it around.
Oh my God.
It's like a switch that goes on. And when the switch goes on, I feel like another person. I feel like a truck, like a machine. Joe, yes, Joe.
Terrible. Fucking terrible, bro. Fucking terrible.
What I do is I just try to take my hat and I turn it around, and it's like a switch that goes on. And when the switch goes on, I feel like another person. I feel like a truck.
Okay, let's just get to this. So yes, we're gonna rank the worst dads from the films that we've reviewed this year. Now I just want to be clear, because I want to hear no shit from the internet out there that we're calling people bad fathers. These are characters in movies. Because we mentioned Sylvester Stallone or Lawrence Fishburne or whoever the actor may be. We're not harping on them directly. It's on the film, the character that they played in whatever given film, and how bad of a dad this character was. So just to be clear, Sylvester Stallone, don't be sending no goons or coming to fuck us up. We're not harping on you. We love you and your movies, except for Over the Top.
Yes.
That being said, let's go with our worst Hollywood dads list, man.
So I think we should go from like worst to first. I think we can kind of all do this one together. Honestly, I think Candyman is the best dad on this list. So I agree. Have him way down on my list. I think Candyman, he takes the kid doesn't die. He takes the kid apparently for like a few days, maybe a week. I don't know.
We have to give a little bit of proof here. There's a scene in Candyman, and it really struck me. And in the movie, Candyman kidnaps this baby. And everybody's like, what's going on with the baby? Now, there's a scene where in Candyman's lair, for lack of a better term, but it's just in this, project. But he's feeding the baby. The man is feeding the baby, and the baby looks happy and healthy.
It was probably blood or something, but whatever.
Yeah,
it's fine.
But he was feeding it.
And then the current Candyman, or the newest Candyman, that one grows up to be Candyman. So yeah, good job, Candyman.
She was out comatose with whatever, we'll call it Halidol or whatever the hell they put her on, and this baby was still just months or whatever, just taken care of. Like, I don't know, man.
Good on you.
That's a big heart. Even though you don't have one.
Agree or deny.
All right. So the next bad dad on my list, I'm going to go with, I think, Donner. I think Donner was kind of a shit dad. No, he was with the mom still. Yeah, he was a dick, but I don't think he was a horrible dad. There's much worse on this list. What do you guys think?
I think Donner was a father of his time. He was a standard 60s dad. My abnormal son can't be a part of anything. that's how dads were back then. So I can yeah.
This is legit what we learned about that movie. It was all about ostracizing and like all that type of stuff. This dad was definitely. I loved how you phrased that. But yeah, Donner, complete dick.
No, Santa's right. He'll never make the sleigh team. Wait a minute. I've got it. We'll hide Rudolph's nose.
Hide it?
Yeah. Come here, boy. You'll be a normal little buck just like everybody else, right? A chip off the old antlers.
This just gets worse, okay? So this is one that I don't think we've ever brought up before, but thinking back in this movie, this guy was a piece of shit. I'm going to go with Oppenheimer. Oppenheimer, he was a bad dad, in a real life bad dad. He basically just abandoned his kids. His wife was drunk all the time. Yeah. He was just dealing with science. His kids were barely in this film. Oppenheimer is a bad dad.
They were both bad parents. I mean, holy moly. They were the worst. It's like, yeah, okay, they were geniuses, but damn.
I think he should be in the bottom.
Yeah, you know what? Because I think the next guy is actually, this next guy is not as bad as Oppenheimer. He should be behind Oppenheimer. I'm gonna go with Furious Styles. Furious Styles, he was trying his best to teach his son some good lessons. I don't think it was really working too well, but he tried. He tried somewhat. He was a bit of a dick also. He was making his son do yard work and stuff like that. But yeah, in the end, his son at least lived. That's better than a lot of these other people on this list.
Well, this is true. Would you put him above Donner? A better father than Donner?
No, I think Donner's still better than Furious.
Really? Oh, you bad now. You bad. You got to shoot somebody now. Well, here I am. Come on, shoot me. You bad, right?
Tough love versus just don't have love.
So, a quick question: Would Steve Martin from Plane Automobiles a good dad?
He was trying to get home to his kids. Yeah, he was a little bit neglectful. I think he's better than Candyman. He didn't kill anybody in the film, so I'll say he's better than Candyman. All right, so the next one I have on the list. This guy could easily be the top of the list, but he's a war vet, so I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt. Admiral Kirk, he wasn't sure he had a son. I think he knew he had a son, but he kind of pretended like he didn't know it. Was not around for this kid, didn't raise him at all, and then in the next film, his kid dies. So Captain Kirk, you didn't do well, man. Do better.
Now, Gail. Wherever you are, that was Scott. That wasn't me. That was Scott. Just to be clear, okay?
James T. Kirk, shit, dad.
Yes. Direct them, please.
Set phasers on stun.
I did what you wanted. I stayed away. Why didn't you tell me?
How can you ask me that? Were we together? Were we going to be? You had your world, and I had mine. And I wanted him in mine, not chasing through the universe with his father.
And I find it hilarious that you called him a war vet. I'm like, there's nothing. He's not a war vet.
Thank you for your service, Shatner. Thank you for your service, Captain Kirk. So yeah, this next guy too, also responsible for a lot of deaths. He's incompetent. He destroyed a town. This is a father from Gremlins. He brought a weapon of mass destruction to a small town and let it loose, and then took off. So yeah, this is on him.
I'm going to push back a little bit. I mean,
you think he
gave these motherfuckers the instructions. He said what he heard from Mr. Nice Chinaman, as Joe would put it. It is not his fault. He said, "Hey man, don't put him in water." He left. Instantly, they put this motherfucker in water. He said, hey, man, don't feed them after midnight. You know what he did? They fed him after midnight just because they were dummies and they didn't look. You know what? He should have been a better cook for his son, but still, he gave the rules. He gave the rules. So
I'm just going alone on body count, Dana. I mean, he killed a town. He was directly responsible for his teenage son killing like hundreds of people. So, yeah.
I think where he went wrong was if he would have stuck around and joined in the adventure and was responsible for, but no, as soon as he gave that little creature to his son, he was out the fucking door again and didn't show up till the end of the film. And that's where he went wrong. And I did on my personal worst Hollywood dad list. I swear, man, that was he almost overtook Hawk, Lincoln Hawk for me, man. He really did. He came very close, man. Because not only did he leave, he's never around apparently. He leaves. He's a bad inventor, but he was responsible for the near death of an entire town. So that comes with. But still, Lincoln Hawk just barely edges him out.
I think you're getting it right into the top of the list. So he writes letters, but doesn't follow up on them. Doesn't call his kid on his birthday. He can't make it to a funeral on time. You know, he's as bad as they come. Didn't teach his son worth a damn. Treated him bad. Let him run in traffic. Lincoln Hawk, worst dad of all time.
The best father.
Whoa. I mean, listen, please, listeners, if there's one episode you have to dig up from the archives, this is the one to go to. It will answer so many questions.
His ex-wife dies. He doesn't get his son back in time to talk to his mom before he dies. He starts washing his truck and doesn't make it to the funeral on time.
Mr. Stallone
can't even make it on time to his own ex-wife's funeral.
No, this movie should be. They should say, "Who's the worst grandfather?" That's.
I think the grandfather was
the worst grandfather.
Trying to keep that bastard away from his grandson.
Rightfully so.
He's the reason. He was the reason why.
You can believe what you want to, but you're a deserter, plain and simple. You deserted your wife and your son.
You were tearing us apart.
Don't try to clear your conscience at my expense. You're a liar.
Grandfather of the year. Grandfather of the year. Only sensible person in the film.
I have a request. I have to appeal to Mr. Sylvester Stallone. Please come on our podcast and defend yourself. Please explain yourself. We hold you in such high regard as a filmmaker, as an actor.
Yes, Cobra was amazing.
You know what? That ends my little Stallone segment. I can't excuse. You know what? I can't back it up. I can't. That's our year-end review. Are we going to go into anything else? What else have you got for us?
No, that's it. Thanks to everyone for listening this year, putting up with our shit. For the last 7 months, and hopefully you stick around, listen to us some more, and happy New Year to everybody.
Yes, muchos prospero año 2024. For those of you who thought I was cursing them out in Spanish, no. Many blessings. Have a prosperous new year. Please continue to like, follow, and subscribe. But thank you so much for joining us, for listening to us. We hope you continue to do so in 2024. And with that, I guess we can go. Say bye, guys.
Bye. See ya.
Bye.
Bye, 2023.
Happy.
I love Gail.